What's up, guys? How's it going? Happy Friday. So today was my last day of my day job for a week. We get a closure, nice break for the holidays. Gonna be awesome. Just wanted to hop on and give an update on kind of the week with news and whatnot, the markets, economy, all that fun stuff. But before I get started, man, give it up for AMC. Hell yeah, dude. So, for any apes out there, man, we hit a 20% to the upside today. It was pretty freaking awesome. A lot of us were waiting for this. Yeah, it's only dead till it's dead, and that there's no community in it anymore. I think a lot of the short sellers, especially more recent ones, made a lot of money. But some that have been in it for longer, it definitely lost a lot. I thought it was cool because there was this article today that came out actually before our big run saying, who's it from? The Street. It says, why betting against AMC stock is still a bad idea. Absolutely. They were talking about Anchorage Capital hedge fund being shut down, and they bet against AMC stock and lost pretty big. They didn't directly mention that their losses on AMC were the reason why they went out of business, but this is a nice positive story for the ape army. We had huge opening of Spider-Man. People are really stoked on that, so it'll be cool to see if there's renewed fire underneath some of the apes, maybe bring some more in, or some more traders who see this momentum and will help push us up. Man, just got to get that squeeze going. Need to have all the catalysts for that. And as one of the best channels, I think, covering AMC and the Ape Army is definitely Matt Kors. And as he says, most of us who put it in, even if we're new like me, we put it in willing to lose it all. So, I mean, a lot of us are hella diamond handing this. And plenty more are still buying. So, yeah, man, it's only a matter of time. We only lose if we let some of this infighting drama, tear us apart, or, if we let the mainstream media, who in large part just hates us, I mean, they're going to stick up for the elite, right? And the hedge funds. So, but while we're on the subject of AMC coverage, definitely, check out Wrench Capital. I think he's been one of the best on the topic of AMC. What I really like about particularly these two channels is how much they actually get into the more educating side of it. And in terms of education, but not really related to AMC, I would definitely check out True Trading Group. They have a membership website. They seem pretty damn legit if you just listen to and watch, some of the members' responses that are on the free stream Monday through Saturday, or Sunday through Friday. And yeah, they're pretty legit too. So if you're someone who's relatively new to trading, like I am, I think it's been great to kind of, this whole AMC GME movement and some of the crypto stuff, Dogecoin, Sheeb, all of that gets kind of these new people into the game, whether it be in equities or in cryptos, right? I think it's been really cool for a lot of these seasoned people to use the opportunity to share some real education about trading, right? It's been pretty badass. But no, I mean, the markets were crazy this week. We had a lot of just fear in the overall markets due to the Federal Reserve. What were they going to say? When were interest rates going to be raised? How are they for sure doing the faster taper with their bond purchasing? I mean, definitely look more into this if you're interested. And what kind of sell-offs we were seeing due to the fear in the markets. And then he came off pretty good. I mean, in terms of most of the people who know a lot more about the market, they were quickly pointing out, and you could see it on the charts. I mean, right after Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, spoke, we saw a spike in the indices, and then the very next day we get hit by the Bank of England actually raising interest rates there, which impacted us, and we lost all the gains from the day before due to that fear. And of course, there's Omicron still going around. I mean, personally, I think we want the surge at Omicron. If we get Omicron surges, we'll see Delta kind of beginning to get pushed out, which has been proven to be deadly. Whereas, I mean, with Omicron, no reported deaths. There was Boris Johnson in England. It was very crafty. This channel, Meet Kevin, pointed this out, and I thought it was brilliant, and I agreed. If you look at his statement verbatim, it said they had the first reported case of somebody dying with Omicron, not from or of Omicron. I'd be curious to see what that death was due to and whether or not it's attributed to the Omicron variant of COVID. Because that would kind of change the story. We all pretty much expect it to be a little less serious in terms of hospitalization and death. The symptoms are mild. People are getting over it fairly easily. I mean, if you think about in terms of evolution, like what will viruses evolve to do? They will evolve to spread more rapidly, but be less damaging on the host, right? A good virus, from the standpoint of evolution, is one that does not kill its host, but multiplies very easily and spreads very easily. We would rather have that variant of Omicron be going around, or variant of COVID going around, so that we can get rid of the more serious variants. So I mean, I think that's something that's definitely having an impact on the market still. It doesn't take much. I mean, stock market's a definite barometer of human emotion at large. It's been pretty interesting from somebody who comes from a education, psychology kind of background. It's been really cool to kind of see how much, the overall like national sentiment can be tracked by the S&P 500 or other indexes. So I don't know. I think I thought it was pretty cool. But anyways, what are some of the other things we saw recently? I mean, we had, what was it? CPI come out, and we're at the highest we've been, I think they said, in about 40 years. CPI, yeah, Consumer Price Index, up to 0.8 for the month, which is 6.8% year over year basis. That's pretty high. I mean, and you don't need that number to tell you most of us average people see costs going up insanely, out in our day-to-day lives, whether it be grocery store, fast food, buying, clothes, and especially gas. What's funny is they don't even include food and energy most of the time, but those are where we're seeing the biggest increases, I would say. But not only that, I mean, we're getting the producer price index, so costs for manufacturing the goods and costs for offering goods and services. That's going up drastically. I mean, you can just look for the last 5 years. Just look at this. It got hit during COVID. You can see there, and then just skyrocket. Kind of looks like the M1 money supply. Just a stupid joke. But yeah, I mean, we see it on the charts now, but I mean, all of us have been living this. Even though there's massive job openings, I mean, most of the job openings seem to be low level, low paying jobs. Even though wages have increased dramatically at that lower level, you haven't seen those increases across the board, across the classes. I mean, so someone like me who went from, working those kinds of jobs, coming from poverty and even homelessness into, more of that working class and lower middle class level, I think, a lot of us are still hurting, because as we've kind of come out of poverty, we set those new expectations of what it means to have a successful life, right? Which means, some of those benchmarks, like owning a car, owning a home, sending your kids to college if that's, what you end up wanting to do, and having healthcare and retirement. I mean, all of us millennials especially, and downward, finding it harder and harder to build any kind of wealth and build any kind of, you know, um, building any kind of life for our families and our kids. It's getting tough out there. I mean, a lot of us, obviously, I think the general sentiment around the country economically is that I don't know, we're pretty beaten down and pretty hopeless in terms of, you know, believing we can work hard and get ahead to that point of providing that life. Um, and you can see it happening even in our culture. It's kind of impacting us and it's ramping up divisions politically, but blaming each other for all of the different problems we have. When I think it's purely economic. I really do. I think it's a class issue. It's not a race issue or anything like that. I mean, not to the extent it used to be, and I would say personally, I believe mostly about class. I mean, and look, they're just Federal Reserve printing tons and tons of money. I mean, debt is skyrocketing. We're so leveraged. I mean, the big institutions and especially, investing institutions. I mean, the dollar is it's gonna go. It's gonna go. A lot of the people I follow for trading and stuff, they don't really agree. I don't believe that, but I do. I mean, when you have practices like, for instance, I mean, so though we see the producer price index up drastically, I mean, Meet Kevin, he did a video called "Avoid These Faking Stocks." So he was talking about, who was it? They're the biggest meat, Tyson Foods. He was going in depth on how much they're hiking their prices just because of the fears of inflation, not because it's costing them more. And I guarantee you that's a major common practice across the board. And so when you have these companies, just kind of playing off the fear, I mean, that's what every institution and everybody in leadership's doing right now. I mean, they're not letting a good crisis go to waste, basically. And I mean, you just see that all around. And who's it impacting the most? Working class, poor, even the middle class. I mean, to me, and I tell other people I talk to about this, had some great conversations recently with COVID, media, government, all this stuff. And it's like, you can see it if you really pay attention. We cannot trust in our institutions and leaders anymore. We haven't been able to for a long time. And they all appear to be, I mean, the same as rats fleeing a sinking ship. They're taking everything. They're just siphoning the money, and they're instituting policies that are literally destroying the country. And that's both sides of the aisle. I mean, because look, both sides of the aisle agree on economic policy. Let's be clear there. I mean, in large part, the establishment parties. They only disagree over the social issues. So anyways, just wanted to kind of give a quick recap. Inflation record highs, producer price index record highs, it looks like. I think it's time for us to get educated. We need to figure out more into, actual wealth building strategies, learn more about finances. Crypto's a big thing. I mean, millennial and especially younger generations. I mean, we're just diving headfirst into the world of blockchain and crypto, and it's because you can see it. We just have so little trust in our institutions and in our society as it is right now, and as it's built and how the power is wielded. So, anyways, that being said, stay hopeful, guys. I mean, we'll get there. We'll be all right. Just start learning about how to kind of take care of yourself and your family. Do the best you can to spread, just honest conversation, love, compassion, respect for one another, and let's try to get through this. I mean, tough times. So, I mean, now more than ever, right? That being said, if you want to, like, share, subscribe, all that junk. And I'll catch you in the next one, hopefully sooner rather than later. All right, later, dudes.